Hey everyone! Today I just figured out how to create this rounded edges shader in SparkAR, and I just wanted to show you how to create this effect with Blender or Cinema 4D. And yeah, so just let's switch to Blender before we set up the whole scene in SparkAR. So I created this little scene here, just some basic shapes, and I joined everything together to one big polygon, or one big object, with quite clean UVs, as you can see here. Like, not really clean UVs, but I just unwrapped them with Smart UV Project, so that nothing overlaps. Yeah, and then I just created some basic material, and the only thing we actually have to do is to create a bevel node and plug it into normal. And then when you just switch back to cycles and render the whole scene, you actually can see that we now have these rounded corners, as you can see here. You even can change the radius, like bigger or even smaller. I guess I will leave it at the default value. And now we have to bake the whole thing as a texture map, actually only the normal. So how we can achieve this? The only thing you have to do is to plug the normal into emission, switch or turn off the base color into black, and then maybe switch back to Eevee. Then you have to create an image texture, create a new one, normal map, and here you can define your resolution. Press OK. After that, you have to get back to your scene settings. Of course, you have to be on cycles, maybe even GPU if you can have an NVIDIA GPU. And here you can choose bake, and we don't want bake the combine shader. We only want to bake the emission path. So yeah, just select emit. I think everything is okay, and hit bake. Just wait a few seconds. And here you go, you have your new normal map baked with rounded edges. Then we can save the whole new texture. So before I will set up everything in SparkAR, I will show you how to create the same thing in Cinema 4D. I will open it. And here I have the same scene with the same objects and the same UVs. And here the only thing you have to do is to create a new node material, apply it to your object, get into the node editor, which is new since Cinema 4D R21. Actually, you have to use R21 and the newer versions, because everything before doesn't have the node editor, and I think you wouldn't be able to find the ambient occlusion node with the average normal output. So yeah, this is required actually. Yeah, so you need the ambient occlusion, you need the get context node, because we need our original Phong normal, and then we have to mix the ambient occlusion average normal with the Phong normal. We have to change the switch to vector, because it's a vector value, and of course blend affected by 50%. Then we have to go into the ambient occlusion and change the max railing. This is the radius of the rounded corners, something like that. And you have to invert the direction. After that, just plug it into normal. And as soon as you hit render, you can see we have rounded corners. But we just want to bake the normal map again. So with this, everything is set up, and just select your geometry, go to object here, and go to bake object. Here please choose the keep UVs, because we don't want to be the UVs to be newly calculated, and choose normals. We don't want the illuminate, because actually you can bake also the whole shader with the lights and stuff, but I already did that, and yeah, I don't need it right now. Here you can change the resolution and your output file type and the destination, and just hit bake. And here you go. So now we have like two different texture maps. And I already did it for Blender, for Cinema 4D with the standard renderer, and I even did it with Cinema 4D and the Redshift renderer, but this is like the same, it's the same thing but with the Redshift nodes. So head back to SparkAR. The only thing we have to do is to import our texture maps, like the normals we created before, and yeah, just drag them into the patch editor, the Blender one and the Cinema 4D one, it doesn't matter. And I already set up a material, it's like a physical based material with the pre-made baked lighting texture I created before in Cinema 4D, and with a little bit of metallic and roughness. And the next thing we have to do is to turn on the normal and create a patch for our normal map. Then we have to create a vertex attribute and get our local tangent. Then we have to subtract our vertex or local tangent with the normal we created in Blender. After that, we have to add the whole thing to a default tangent space normal value, which we can create by just adding a value and a color. And the default value is E7EFE. And then we add the value to our maps, and after that we can mix the whole thing with itself. So yeah, we can, so that we can adjust the strength of our rounded edges shader. And as soon as you plug it in, you can already see the effect. And if you switch it to color and turn up the alpha from the mix, you can adjust the effect to your likings. So I guess I will leave it like this. Yes, that was the whole process, and I hope you liked it. And yeah, see you next time.